Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Hello, guys.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of the SaVeg Podcast.
Back in the SaVeg podcast studios.
Back in our studio with our lovely world map, which we have not continued to fill.
Nope.
Because we are still in a pandemic.
You know one place that we were supposed to go this year?
Korea.
Yeah. Right here.
God damn, Daniel.
This little blue country.
And then Daniel's supposed to pretend to be my
husband.
Fiance to all my Korean relatives. I wonder how they would take it if I was like, he's gay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I wonder. I am kind of curious, but I also don't really want to know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Korean people, they be, a
bit conservative?
A little bit, yeah.
Are there no homosexuals in Korea?
Well, they probably don't think there are. So
it's like do you remember from RuPaul's Drag Race? I think it was like season 8 or something. There was like this guy from Korea. And Kimchi, yeah.
I wonder if he ended up coming out to the parents.
His mom would have seen the show. Probably.
They must have, right?
Or
and he's like famous,
like super famous, or somebody would have seen him on the show and been like, "Your son's on this show."
Yeah. What do they think he does? How do they think he make? Because like I'm sure he was doing that full time after the show.
Like even before the show, I think he was already quite famous,
right?
Because of his makeup skills and everything.
Yeah, he was so good.
He's like super talented. And I think, I don't know.
God damn. And that's like extra as well. It's not even just I'm gay. It's like I'm gay and I like to dress up as a woman.
Well, it's interesting because you see like Drag Race, just to go on a tangent for a little minute.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of those guys, they have to go like come out twice. And a lot of them were like, well, my parents were okay with me being gay, but like the drag thing, they don't like.
It's a double thing, you know?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, well, they don't like me going out and making my money dressed up as a woman.
Oh, God, I know. It's already hard enough coming out as gay, and then there's an extra layer there.
I kind of want to I think we've talked about this before, but I want to like, not like, I don't want to be a drag queen, because like, it's so much work, and then, you know, I'm just not about like, you know.
I'm sorry, Daniel. You trying to put on makeup?
Exactly. But I really would like to go to like a professional drag queen
and get a makeover,
fully like done.
I would love to see that.
Just like, but super glam. You know what I mean?
You think you're gonna be fishy?
I think I'll be the most fishy queen ever. No, I'm just kidding. Well,
apparently the term fishy is a little bit, not good.
Why is that?
Because it's a little derogatory toward women. You know.
Damn.
That I mean. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Apparently they don't use it as much anymore, but I could be wrong. But, you know, I'm also not part of the drag community, so who knows?
You're not?
No.
Oh, God damn.
But another little thing about Korea, which since we started talking about it and how conservative it is, there's a YouTube, I don't know if it's a YouTube premium like show, but it's like it's called like The Evolution of K-pop.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. If it's on your YouTube, you should watch it. I mean, it's probably interesting for me because I used to be really into K-pop. Yeah. When before it was cool.
The whole thing on K-pop and like the industry is like really fascinating because they've really like, it's all like they've pre-packaged this like image. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And really like tried to like, you know, streamline that, and it's so big in Asia, like all over Asia.
It's
K-pop's
not
like,
even just Asia now, Daniel. It's like all over the world.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I was watching this evolution of K-pop, which is like a I think like there's like 5 or 6 episodes. And so they go from like the beginning of K-pop and all that stuff. So I was kind of like, I'm aware of the beginning portion.
Yeah.
I'm not as much aware of what's going on right now, but it's become like such a big industry.
Yeah.
But one of the parts that I found was like you would laugh. So basically, one of the things is that these K-pop idols, they're called idols. Yeah. They are like not allowed to like have relationships because they're like basically slaves. Like I feel actually really bad for these people because first of all, they have to like, you're right. It's like basically this whole like system that produces these people as products almost. So they get trained for years and years and years, and only a few select people of those people that trained become stars.
K-pop stars, yeah.
And not even, there's no guarantee that they're going to be stars, but they get to debut.
Yeah.
Anyways, so one of the interesting things is there was this like boy band that when I was into K-pop, it was the band that was like the rival of the band that I liked. The band is called God. Don't ask. Anyway.
God.
Yes, I can't remember what it stood for, but anyways, the names of K-pop bands. Anyways, so God, one of the guys, he's like from the States. A lot of these people are like from the States, like not from the States, but they're like Korean Americans.
Okay.
So this guy was a little bit more like Americanized, and I guess he was like in Korea doing his thing, and I guess the scandal was that he was dating somebody. Like he was in a relationship.
And everyone's like, you can't do that.
Yeah. So the management company tried to kick him out of the group, tried to exile him because he was a 32-year-old man dating somebody.
Yeah.
And then he did this like whole like press conference about this whole scandal that he was like in a relationship. And it's like, and then eventually, because the fans were like, no, don't kick him out. Like they ended up staying. But it's like that kind of shit. It's that's
crazy.
ridiculous.
I wonder if too, because I remember like, you know, we used to have like, and we still kind of do, but not quite to the same level, like boy bands and everything else, like the days of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all that. And a lot of stuff came forward during that time that, you know, the management companies that like managed those bands were like.
Did you watch that other documentary?
Which one?
It was like, it was about that guy named Lou or something.
Perlman or whatever.
Yes,
I haven't seen it.
I just watched that recently as well.
But it's a similar kind of concept. Well,
yes.
I don't know if it's a similar concept.
It's much worse in Korea.
Yeah, but I wonder if also the monetary wise it's worse as well. Like they don't get paid very well, or
they call it like slave contracts in Korea in like K-pop, because they take such advantage of these like you know, these young people that are like basically the face of everything.
Yeah.
But I've heard that they don't really make much money at all.
Okay.
I think it depends on like, you know, the company and stuff, but I'm sure that they definitely don't make like, they probably make a fraction of what they probably should make. So it's like really messed up. So that's really interesting. So yeah, I do recommend watching the series. It is quite interesting.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why we started talking about that.
Me neither. So, Rose, do you want to share with the audience
what we're talking about? Oh God, you guys! I had a traumatic. Okay,
it's a traumatic experience.
It was kind of traumatic. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I have a cafe, a vegan cafe here in Calgary, which is in Canada, for those of you that don't know. And so it's a small little, vegan cafe. I co-own it with my mom, and it's inside a fitness studio. Okay. So we have recently installed like these takeout windows that have been very helpful during this pandemic. So people can just order like at the window, or they can order in advance and just pick up the food at the takeout window, which is very convenient. Anyways, last night I'm sleeping. Okay. I'm in deep slumber. And all of a sudden at 3 a.m, I get a random phone call. And here's the thing. I have my phone so that it's on do not disturb mode. Yeah. So that if I am sleeping, people don't be disturbing me. Exactly, okay. I don't want to hear the pings and the notifications.
You need your beauty rest.
Yes. So, but I do have it so that if somebody calls me and they're in my contact list, then the phone call goes through. Yeah. Just in case there's an emergency.
Yeah.
Last night, I get a phone call in the middle of the night from one of the owners of the fitness studio. And I'm like, that's very weird.
Yeah, like why are they calling me at like 3 a.m?
It's 3 a.m. I'm like, did they like, is this like a random pocket dial at 3 a.m? But again, very strange. So my, initial thought is, let's not pick up. Because I'm like, I don't know.
I don't blame you. Like, if
I think I'm just like not. Yeah.
If someone's calling me at 3 a.m, generally, especially if it's not somebody I'm like close with, like, obviously if it's a close friend or something, and they're calling you, like, okay, shit, something's happening, But like, or if my parents or whatever. Yeah. But if it's like.
But I probably should have picked up now that I think about it, because like it's obviously something to do with the cafe.
But not obviously.
But I think I was like,
what if she was drinking and she was pocket dialing you by accident?
Honestly, I don't know. Like I think it was just like the fact that I had just woken up and I was like not ready to take any phone call. Anyways, I didn't pick up initially, and then I was like, oh my god. And then I was like kind of starting to wake up, and then I get like messages. I think initially I got her message or someone else's message. Basically, she messaged me saying, oh, the cafe window has been broken into. Have the police contacted you? And I was like, oh my God. So then I think I called her, and then she told me to call talk to the police. And then I realized I had a text message from the police.
I love that the police text you.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, we need to get in contact with you. Somebody broke the window to your restaurant. And then I ended up calling them, of course. I immediately called that number. And then they were, explaining that somebody had broken the window. And for some reason, they broke the window and did not go inside, which is very good.
Yeah.
So the police, kind enough, they were standing, they like just, parked their car beside it and called somebody to come and like mount the wood, like a wood thing to cover the window so that it's secured. So they did that. And then, so basically our window got smashed last night at 3 a.m. or 2:30 in the morning.
It just sucks when this stuff happens.
I don't even know how, the thing is, I don't even know how the police knew.
Yeah, but somebody must have, what could have happened or heard. Because something like that would make a loud noise, right? And there are apartment buildings all over the area.
And there's 2 layers to that window. I don't even know how they fucking smashed it.
I mean, they must have taken a rock, like a big, and just like, I don't know.
Don't they make glass that's like not breakable, or is that like really expensive?
I think it's probably really expensive. That's what they have at like, I'm trying to think.
Like when you go to like the CN Tower, you like look down, you can stand on it.
Yeah, that glass is...
That shit must be expensive.
I hope that's unbreakable.
I stood on that shit.
Me too. It was so scary.
I know, it's scary.
I was like, on the actually speaking of the CN Tower, there's actually this thing you can do now, and I haven't done it, but I might do it next time I go to Toronto. You can go outside.
Oh God.
Clipped on. You're clipped on, but then you like walk around the edge of the CN Tower.
Oh yeah, I think.
But like, I think I might have a panic attack if I did that.
Are you scared of heights?
Like, I'm not so scared of heights. Like, I could be on a balcony and stuff as long as I'm in a secure structure.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like with that, I would just feel so nervous.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal in this. The potential of death is not appealing to me.
Exactly. Well, and like the thing is, just being up in the tower itself is pretty amazing. Like, because it goes so high up, and it's the only tower that I've been in. Like, I think it's the highest tower I've ever been in, and it actually feels like that part of when you're in the plane and you get to a certain level of taking off.
Oh, that's what I was. Do you think it's that high? Is it that high?
I think so. Like, I remember looking around and it just felt like so high, and I was like, this is kind of what it feels like right as the plane like gets to not like super high, but like as it's taking off, and I was like, oh, it's kind of cool,
But yeah, I mean, I wonder how much those glasses are, because
they would be really expensive.
They would be very expensive.
But like, because it's like super.
But
thick
it's so
and
annoying.
Crazy and
anyways, we also found out today. So today, of course, I slept. Yeah. May have had a little help from something. To sleep at 3 a.m. after getting that call.
Yeah, you were probably frantically up and just like, oh my God, what do I do?
God. But then I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I mean, they've secured it. They told me that they didn't actually break in, as in they didn't. Nobody went in, which is a big relief. Yeah. So to me, that was the big relief that they didn't go in. I think it's also because it's like when you break that fucking window, there is glass everywhere, and it's not like a door where they can just walk in. It's like you have to climb over, and you would injure yourself. Yeah. So this person was not thinking. Whoever did this, okay. So anyways, I went back to sleep, and then this morning I found out that it wasn't just my place. It was another place across the street that fully got broken into. Yeah. So
they had like a full glass door.
Yeah.
And then I guess someone smashed that, went in, they cleaned out the cash register, everything. And it's like, it's really like everyone is having tough times right now. Like, I know. Even like everybody. And if you're like preying on like even restaurants and cafes and things like that, like cafes and restaurants are struggling. Yeah. So it's like you're taking the cash and like they're having a tough time. Like,
I know. So that happened, and so now I am tired, and I'm probably going to be extra bitchy.
Oh, great!
Which is going to be perfect for our first story right here of our lovely
Demi Lovato.
Is it Demi or Demi?
I think it's Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato?
I don't think it's Demi. It's like
Demi.
Demi.
But then no. But what about Demi Moore?
Yeah, but
her name is Demi.
Yeah, but hers is Demi. Now I don't even know how to say it, Rose. You've confused me.
So but it's spelled the same, isn't it?
Demi Lovato.
Demi or Demi?
Demi Lovato.
But it's Demi Moore.
Well, anyway.
Anyway,
well, we can agree to disagree on that one.
Here's the thing. This story is already like a week old, but I still want to rant about it.
Because the thing is...
What do you think about this story? Okay, wait. Let's tell the story in case people don't know.
So, guys, I'm going to read you the headline, then we'll go through this. So, LA frozen yogurt shop addresses online rumors after Demi Lovato slammed it for offering sugar-free options.
Oh my God, it just sounds so ridiculous. I know. Even just reading that.
Oh God.
Do you love her? Do you love Demi Lovato?
I like some of her stuff. Okay. I like some of her her music. Like some of her songs are really catchy.
I literally don't know any of her songs.
What about we're cool for the summer. Cool for the summer.
I mean, maybe if I heard it from the actual singer itself, I would know.
Not my beautiful rendition. Oh God, that's. I mean, so I like
your
roses.
Remixes, Daniel.
Oh goddamn, my remixes be good as hell.
Okay.
So basically, what had happened is, I guess, we're gonna call her Lovato because we can't agree on
Demi. Well, we could call her Demi.
Okay, so
but then I just don't understand the English language.
Yeah.
Because Demi Moore. Is it spelled differently? I think it's the same.
It is the same, but you can pronounce things differently that are spelled the same, Rose.
That's stupid, though.
Like names especially. Like someone could have a name like, I don't know, my name could be spelled Daniel, but somebody else could pronounce it like Danielle. Anyways.
And then I would be like, do you know how to speak English?
That's true. Okay, so the reason why she's calling out this yogurt company called Big Chill. So I guess Big Chill is like a yogurt, like you get frozen.
It's a Froyo company.
And I love Froyo. I used to love Froyo. So Lovato, she is recovering from an eating disorder and has been very open about her struggle. On social media, she regularly advocates for body health, for body positivity, mental health, and has called out trends that promote eating disorders. Her weekend post that called out the Big Chill attempted to do just that. So her post was reading, finding it extremely hard to order Froyo from the Big Chill when you have to walk past tons of sugar-free cookies and other diet foods before you get to the counter, she wrote. Do better, please. Hashtag diet culture vultures.
So she tagged these people on her Instagram and thought that, you know, she was doing a service. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this so far?
Well, I mean, honestly, if you're going to a shop, right? Yes. Like you go to a shop, it's like if I go to a grocery store or something, you know, we both don't eat meat.
Yes.
So like, I'm not going to go to Safeway and be like, you know what, you carnivores, there's too much meat everywhere. I have to, and you know, actually at the Safeway by my parents' house, they put because I get Beyond Burgers quite often because I love them. And they'll be like in the same they're
in the same area. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you know, that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? That's how they've organized the store. I can still get the product that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same instance here. It's like, you know, okay, unfortunately, maybe they're promoting the diet stuff, so it's at the front, right? That's their strategy. You can still go there and get non-diet options, right? So I don't think that you should like be so like cynical and just so what you have to walk past a few diet things before you can get what you want. I just don't think there's anything.
But what she's saying is that it's triggering. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, then I would say if it's triggering, you can't go out to eat anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, listen. It is not, I'm sorry to say this, but not everyone has an eating disorder.
Yeah.
Okay. So not everyone. I would say very few people are triggered by certain things like fat-free, you know, sugar-free. And so if you get triggered by it, I get it. But it's like, another thing is like, to say that this kind of thing causes eating disorders, I'm sorry, but that's not really, I don't think that's true. Yeah. It might contribute a small amount and it might trigger people that already have eating disorders or already have eating disorder tendencies. But eating disorder is like a very complicated thing that like usually stems from mental health issues.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not really like, I hate when people are like, oh my God, like diet foods cause eating disorders. Because I'm like, on one hand, you say that it's a mental disorder. And then on the other hand, you say that just because something says it's sugar-free, that's causing eating disorders. No. That's not the same thing. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's one thing.
Well, I think, that's like a really good point because, you know, again, you're going to like a frozen yogurt place. You know what I mean?
That's another thing.
Like,
it's kind of, like, who's going to tell her that frozen yogurt is basically diet ice cream?
Yeah, but like,
sorry.
Exactly. Like that's the point I was going to get to. Is like, because typically you would go to get frozen yogurt because it's like a healthier option than going to get ice cream. So inherently you're already making a choice to make it more like diet friendly option. And again, like, with these like products and things like these sugar-free cookies and other diet foods, like some people, that's what they are looking for. You know what I mean? And you know, it would be different if she went there and everything was sugar-free, everything was diet, and she couldn't get what she was looking for because
I mean, it would be different, but you still shouldn't have reacted like that. You just leave, bitch. You just leave.
Go somewhere else.
Okay. There are people that look for this and they won't be triggered and they're not going to get eating disorder from this.
And also I this whole idea, like I get it, like some things are going to be triggering. And like, again, if you're a kind of person that's going to get triggered by having sugar-free options in a yogurt store, like don't go to these places. Do you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the, it's something so like it's like,
so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. And I think to myself, I'm like, okay, at the same time, everyone's like being like, oh, this, and I'm not talking about everything, guys, but like, this is triggering me. This is triggering me. This is triggering me. It's like, you know,
what's not triggering
exactly. And it's like, are we building a society of people where like we can't literally do anything?
Yeah.
Like, is that yogurt shops not supposed to have any diet options?
I think we have to wrap everything in bubble wrap so that we're safe.
Apparently, like, I'm sorry, but like growing up back in my day, like, fuck the things that used to go on.
Seriously.
And you know what? We all grew up like, okay, like partially decent, I think. But like now it's like every little thing. It's like, oh, this is triggering me. This is triggering me. I feel attacked, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's literally like there's a row of probably diet cookies.
Yeah.
Like,
come on.
It's getting ridiculous.
Like, here's the thing. Like, in some ways, I think it's good that, you know, obviously we're becoming more aware of issues, and maybe the things that we saw when we were young were not necessarily good.
Yeah.
But in some ways, I also feel like maybe we're raising really weak people because there's something going on where it's like people are not getting healthier by this happening, you know, by us being more careful. Yeah. It seems that people are more and more likely to get anxiety, depression, all kinds of problems. Yeah. And of course, it's a lot more complicated than just triggers. Yeah. But I do think that like there are some issues where we are making people really weak. I don't know.
Well, and I agree because I just feel like, especially with this whole like trigger culture, I want to call it almost, because I feel like it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's like, I get it. There's going to be legitimate things out there that trigger people, right? Like, you know, for example, I remember when at university when we were going, there was like a massive protest, and there was like it was for abortions or something.
It was pro-life,
and they had like really graphic images and all of this stuff. But they had warnings. They were like, if you're sensitive to graphic images, walk around. That makes sense. Okay. Because that's like really cool.
Exactly. It's very like out there.
It's out there, right? But something having the word diet on it, or being like, this is a diet chocolate bar. Like, and again, as a consumer going into that shop, you have a choice of what you're buying. So like, I don't know. And it would be, again, if there was like a sign that was like, I don't know, like some marketing campaign that was like, you're fat, you should have something diet.
That's different. That's different.
Then I could see people being like, that's inappropriate advertising. Yeah. That's triggering to me. That's making me feel shit about myself. That's different than just having that terminology, I feel like, on the shelf.
Yeah.
Because how many products do we walk past in the grocery store that we are, pardon me, not necessarily triggered, but we would never buy it, and we don't like we have to go like walk through the meat section practically, and it's literally just carcasses of animals everywhere, right? And like,
and if a vegan did this, ooh,
oh god, if they were like, we're triggered.
I mean, there are vegans that do this. I mean, but even with the whole, even if it were vegans, it would make more sense. And I'm obviously I'm biased because I'm vegan. Yeah. But it would make more sense because it's actual beings being harmed. It's not about my feelings. It's not about, oh, I have an eating disorder and I'm triggered by these words. Yeah. These are actual like animals that have been killed. So that makes more sense to me. Yeah. Whereas this is just, you had an eating disorder, which I feel for you. Yeah. But you acting like this is not going to be a very good representation of other people that, you know, suffer from this. And a lot of people actually also said, a lot of people also commented that, I mean, I don't know if I would take it this far, but they did say that she was being ableist because the reason why these, you know, options exist is because a lot of people that might be diabetic or that might even they had like vegan options or as well. But it was like, sugar free and maybe dairy free and stuff like that. And then people are like, you're being ableist. Maybe that's taking it a little bit too far because I don't think she was intending on that.
Yeah. But that is a good point. Like half the reason that these options are out there, something that's like sugar free, for example, or diet, doesn't necessarily mean it's for someone trying to be healthy. Yeah. Right. It could be the fact is, you know, like you said, someone's like, maybe that's a bad example, but like gluten free or dairy free or like, you know, all of these things. And it might be, you know, say like diet or something on it because it's like, it doesn't have as many, I don't know.
And why is that bad? I'm sorry. Yeah. It's not bad to not have sugar and whatever. Like,
I know.
I just don't get it. Like, it's not a bad thing. Just because, again, you had an eating disorder doesn't mean other people have the same disordered thinking patterns as you do. So when I see a sugar-free cookie, I'm not immediately like, oh my God. Yeah. You know, like I don't have any sort of reaction. I'm just like, that's a sugar-free cookie.
And that's not one that I'm going to get.
And it's like, it's just, exactly.
I will get the full sugar one.
You have the choice. Exactly. Okay. And then
no one's forcing you to get that. You know what I mean? Like no one's saying when you are making a choice to go in there, it would like, again, it would be different if something happened at the cashier where they're like, ooh, you sure you don't want to get the sugar, the sugar-free one? You know what I mean? Okay, I understand. That's going to like trigger someone or that's going to be, you know, that's not okay. But like, walking into a store and seeing products that you don't like or you don't necessarily agree with, or something that's like, you know, you have the conscious decision not to get those things and to like walk to another part of the store.
No, but apparently that's not good enough. But I mean, I did,
Sorry.
I was glad that most people like
called her out.
Yeah. Like I think most people were reasonable
Thank
enough
God.
to be like, you're being ridiculous. Yeah. Cause
Thank
I was
God.
like, I was ready to be like, oh my God, is everyone like on board with this?
If this blew up and everyone was on board with it.
Which I mean, nowadays I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, and then she made a video where it was like literally sorry, not sorry, you know?
Yeah.
And
which is one of her songs.
Shut up. Is that her song?
That's her song. Yeah. Demi Lovato. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, I thought it was, Ariana Grande, but okay, God, I don't know any of these people. Anyways,
I think it's her
no,
song.
but she basically was like, and one of the most frustrating things about her little apology, which was not an apology. Oh, you're right. Sorry, not sorry is by Demi Lovato. Oh my God. Anyways, so yeah, one of the things that she said was this was like the funny part to me.
Yeah.
She was like, during my eating disorder, Froyo was one of those things that she's like, Froyo is really difficult for me because Froyo was one of those things that I would choose during when I was like, you know, suffering from the eating disorder because it was like the diet option. I'm like, then why did you go to a Froyo shop?
Exactly.
Like you literally just said that you were triggered by Froyo and you decided voluntarily to go to a Froyo shop and then you complained that you went to a Froyo shop.
That you got triggered.
I'm triggered by the fact that you're fucking triggered and then you go to the place that triggered you.
Oh, goddamn, Rose.
Stop. Don't fucking with that. Anyways, I told you I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, goddamn, Rose. This is
don't fucking wake me up at 3 a.m.
No, but it's like ridiculous. It's like the celebrities doing this stuff. Like it's just like it's so annoying. Well, not even just celebrities, people in general.
Especially celebrities. I'm like, do you even understand like, you know, the world?
It's kind of like,
do you know there's a pandemic and people dying out there?
Exactly.
And you're complaining about Froyo?
Yeah. Or like for like another really good example was when we talked about the Chloe pic and about how hypocritical she is, and she's like, you know, the beauty they put so many standards on me, and you know, I really felt like I needed to live up to these standards. Like, bitch, you also put those standards out there. What the fuck?
Bitch, please go and just oh God, I can't. All right, so that's the Demi.
Is it Demi or Demi?
I don't know, Daniel.
Okay. I think you've confused me now.
Demi Lovato, maybe.
I think it's Demi Lovato.
Okay, sure. I don't really care.
God damn.
She seems annoying.
So
She seems annoying.
The thing is, I do really like her, like some of her songs.
Right.
Like Sorry, Not Sorry.
I mean, I'm sure she's a good, artist.
Yeah, she's a good singer, and she's struggled with a lot of things. Like,
well, that's another thing. Like. That I don't really understand. I mean, I guess in some ways I understand. I guess if you have some kind of trauma, then like maybe you act irrationally sometimes. I don't know. Yeah. But I also feel like when you go through a lot of hard things, which I'm sure it's, you know, she was a young star.
She was a drug addict at one point as well.
Yeah, she was addicted to drugs. Like she did go through a lot of things, I heard. So like out of all the hardships that you went through, like, did you not grow thicker skin? Like, I don't know. I'm just confused because usually they say, you know, you go through hard things and it makes you a stronger person. Yeah. But like to be triggered by Froyo and like just something saying sugar free. It's like, I almost feel like she just like had a bit of a, you know, like I'm better than you moment. Like, oh my God. Cause like maybe she's put on this like, you know, she's given herself the position of being like the diet, you know, the diet culture call out person. Yeah. So now anytime she sees anything like that, she's going to call it out because like she wants to be an activist for, you know, anti-diet culture, which, oh God, anyways.
God damn.
But just because somebody wants to eat a little bit healthier, just because they want to eat sugar free, doesn't make them diet culture vultures.
Exactly.
Okay? Some people just want to lose weight. Sorry.
Exactly.
Like if you don't want to, that's totally fine.
Exactly. That's your prerogative. Like don't, and like, yeah, there's just so many more complexities to that.
Oh,
and I
God,
just
seriously.
I just can't.
I could go on and on forever, but
I can't even, you know?
But anyway, so she got a lot of backlash and she ended up giving the Froyo shop lots of business.
Did she?
Like, I think they went from like 3,000 followers or something to like
a ton,
40,000 or something.
It's crazy how like that can happen. Do you know what I mean? Like
they say, well, it's because most people were also on their side rather than her side.
So they probably like joined, followed, was like, we're gonna support you. We're gonna get some sugar-free cookies.
Oh my God! And the things that she said in the apology, which wasn't an apology. She was basically like, I'm sorry that they took it this way. Like it was so aggressive. And she also just said like,
it's like a sorry, not sorry moment.
It was literally a sorry, not sorry moment. And she was like, She was like, well, you know, I'm willing to work with this Froyo company so that I can feel safe going in there. I'm like, bitch, nobody gives a shit if you feel safe going in there.
And I'm sorry, did sugar cookies make you feel like not safe?
I think it's dangerous, Daniel. Oh, it's dangerous to go into a sugar-free.
I'm scared those sugar-free cookies, they're going to come after me, you know? God damn.
Oh, God. It's just like, and like one thing that I wanted to compare it to is like people that have like alcoholism, this is literally the most triggering. I feel like if I were an alcoholic, it would be the most difficult thing.
Oh, because it would be so hard.
Triggers fucking everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Exactly. Like talk about diet culture, more like drinking culture. Like, and we're part of this.
Yeah.
But like the amount.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah. The amount, like you go everywhere. There's booze everywhere. Work function, wedding, you know, dinner, family dinner, like whatever it is. There's always going to be booze. And you go to a restaurant, there's booze. You go to a cafe, sometimes there's booze. Yeah. And it's like, isn't that triggering?
You travel, there's booze.
Exactly.
Like on the plane, there's booze.
Everywhere.
Sometimes on the bus.
Yeah.
You can bring
like,
booze.
One of the most difficult things, I think, is like socializing because any social event as an adult, you're going to be faced with this, you know, booze.
Dilemma, yeah.
So it's like none of those people that are actually like really suffering from this are like, and again, I'm not saying eating disorder people are not suffering, but it's like the world doesn't revolve around you. Other people also have triggers and the world cannot like cater to everyone's different triggers. Otherwise, we're just going to have, you know,
we'll have nothing.
Literally,
they'll
because
say,
like
we can't put this there. We can't put a full fat chocolate bar there because that's going to trigger somebody.
Yes.
We can't put the diet option there. We can't put the vegan option there. We can't put the anything because somebody's going to get triggered by
somebody's going to get triggered.
Like,
but it's like these specific groups of people that want everything to be catered to them without considering that there are other people in the world that are also probably triggered by so many things every single day, but they've dealt with it for many years.
Exactly. So, I think alcohol is a really, really good point. Like that one's because I was thinking like if I was like a recovering alcoholic and I was like trying to like not drink, like let's say I had a really bad drinking problem and now I'm like trying to like, you know, get better and whatever else. And I'm going out with friends. I'm going to like weddings, all this stuff. It's like literally
every single thing.
You go to a restaurant, most of them serve alcohol. So
you don't see any of them complaining.
Exactly.
Which I mean, I wouldn't even like, that's something that's much more, I think, ingrained in society.
Yeah. So this next story.
Oh God.
This is continuing on the David Dobrik.
There you go. You know how to say it right.
I do. Yay. On the David
not
Dobrik
that it matters
saga.
because he'd be cancelled.
I know. Apparently, maybe he'll bounce back. Who knows?
He probably will.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, this story, I'm kind of confused with this one.
I'm also a little
Did you watch the video?
I didn't actually see the video. Well, I saw part of it. Like I saw like clips of footage. So basically what had happened was I guess as one of their like these fucking prank videos. Seriously.
Was it a prank?
No, it wasn't a prank. It was like one of those like stunt kind of like videos, like just people doing crazy shit. And I guess they had like some kind of like
what is it called? A crane? Not a crane.
Like a forklift? No.
Oh, maybe.
Or like
what do you call it? Anyway.
This like
maybe it says here.
Let's see. Okay.
So basically what happened was there was another YouTuber named Jeff Wittick.
Yeah.
Who is very good looking, by the way.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Very good
so
looking
footage from the second. Oh yeah. So footage shows dangerous stunt gone wrong. Footage from the second episode of YouTuber Jeff Wittick's series. Don't try this at home. That's what the series was called. Shows that David Dobrik was involved in an accident that left Wittick with serious face injuries last year. Wittick had previously spoken about his injuries, but never revealed the detail behind what had caused them. His latest episode titled "I Broke My Face," How I Broke My Face, was posted Wednesday night. That answered a lot of answers. Oh, here we go. For one of these stunts, Dobrik put an excavator in a lake that he said was approximately 1 foot deep. Then Dobrik operates the machine as vlog squad members wakeboarded and surfed on the lake while attached to this. Like, so this thing had like an arm and you could like swing it around. Anyway, so I'm sitting there watching. So this is what Wittick was saying about this, what was going on. He said, I'm sitting there watching Todd wake surf for hours and great, but we're trying to make a funny video. If you want wakeboarding videos, go to YouTube and type cool guy wake surfing. And
Can you speak?
I can't. So they wanted to do something a bit more exciting. So they decided to like tie a rope to this and make it almost like a rope swing.
Oh my God, I can't.
Kind of thing.
These are grown ass
people. This is the thing.
Yeah.
So basically they got this rope attached to the thing and this girl got on.
Yeah.
At first. And
David just went crazy.
Yeah. And she was like, get me down.
And he doesn't have any license to operate this thing.
I don't think so. And so he stops. She gets off and she's like, holy fuck. And then this is when Jeff gets on. So he gets on and then
David, just call him David.
David swings this thing super fast. And you see footage of this guy, like, I don't know, he like flies out and like bangs into something.
I think he banged into the excavator or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know the full.
And like fucked up his face, basically.
Yeah, basically he like really like smashed his face. Yeah. And I think it like kind of maybe like left him with like permanent scars. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, that happened. And then so he's like releasing these videos one by one. Yeah. So I'm not really sure what because I think David Dobrik is actually in like these videos. Like he's being interviewed and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think they're still friends. Like I don't really know the full details.
Yeah, because some people were saying like this comes out after all this backlash that David Dobrik's getting from other things. And like now this guy's coming forward and being like he's such an idiot the way he was operating the crane. And
so are they friends? Like
I don't know.
It sounds a bit of a weird timing.
Exactly.
For sure.
It's weird timing that it comes out now. And also like, I'm really, really sorry, like guys, but like, I don't really feel for you if you decide like you and your friends are doing videos and you decide to tie a rope to a fucking excavator,
right?
Have them swing it around for fun. Like somebody's going to get hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like you're asking for trouble. Like
that's true.
And I'm not saying that like that justifies like
everyone's at fault. Okay.
Exactly.
Basically, it's not complete. People are. The thing is, I've seen some of the comments, and I feel like a lot of people are like kind of defending this Jeff guy. I think Jeff guy is very well liked. Yeah. This is the difference. Right now, David is very hated.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So David is hated. Jeff is still liked. So everyone is basically blaming David.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're all collectively responsible.
100%, like
you're a grown ass man.
Exactly.
You just saw what this guy did to the friend.
Exactly.
And you know that this guy doesn't know how to, operate a thing.
And also that he's a little bit reckless.
And
so
he's a bit reckless.
Exactly. So like it would be like if Rose rented a crane in the middle of the park and is like, Daniel, do you want to jump on this rope and I'm going to swing you around? I'm not going to say yes.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And if you said yes, we would both be responsible for being stupid.
Exactly. And if I said yes and then I got hurt, I can't be like, oh, woe is me. It's like I fucking did it as well.
I know, it's crazy.
So, but again, this is just like, again, highlighting this emphasis that like people need to stop doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Stop doing these stunts.
He could have died.
Exactly. He could have actually died. Stop doing these stunts. Stop doing these like stupid prank videos that are actually like where people are endangering themselves and dying themselves.
Yeah.
Like, like that guy who was telling me when his girlfriend shot him through a book or something.
Yes.
Like just crazy shit, guys.
Yeah.
Like just stop.
But yeah, so he hurt his face. He's releasing these videos one by one. I'm not sure what I haven't really watched the videos. I've just heard about it. I watched the part where it's happening, kind of. So yeah, I don't really know what's
going to happen from this.
What's going to happen. But like someone did say in that little article there, it says he could have been charged with manslaughter if something went a little bit more wrong, which is true.
Yeah. He would have, because manslaughter,
you would be careful.
Yeah. This is like, again, like the stuff that's going on.
Oh, speaking of manslaughter, can we go on a little...
Oh, goddamn. What happened with the manslaughter?
Derek Chauvin.
Oh, yes.
He was charged.
He was, but it wasn't with
manslaughter. It wasn't. I don't think it was manslaughter. Was it with manslaughter?
Well, you know what? We have a laptop right here.
Yeah. He was definitely convicted. He was found guilty. And then, of course, the conservatives lost their minds. What does it say?
Okay, let's see.
He was convicted of the murder of George Floyd. I'm sure it wasn't manslaughter. It can't have it. It couldn't have been manslaughter.
I'll be shocked.
No. Maybe look for conviction.
Oh yeah.
God, he like actually looks like a criminal too.
I know, he looks really creepy. Let's see. Convictions in progress. Chauvin sentencing set for June. Convicted. Here we go. What's this? Let's read the CNN one. Convicted in the murder of George Floyd to be sentenced June 12th. Blah, blah, blah. What?
Second degree. Wait. Judge Peter Cahill why can't I speak?
Remanded Chauvin into custody on Tuesday following his conviction on second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter.
Okay, how do you get all three of those convictions?
I have no idea.
I don't understand the justice system, but anyways.
Me neither.
But yeah, the conservatives lost their minds.
Yeah.
Like Ben Shapiro.
He
oh my God, he's so stupid. It just, I don't know what he said, but I remember this one tweet. So I guess someone like at CNN, I think, like one of the journalists, like he tweeted, justice has been served after this conviction.
Yeah.
And then Ben Shapiro, he like, when you can retweet something and you can make your own comment.
Yeah.
And then he wrote, you wouldn't be saying that if the opposite verdict had been,
true.
Yeah.
Or
but then,
not true,
yeah.
But.
And then everyone's like, well, yeah, because the whole point is that a murder is going to prison. that's the whole point of saying justice is served. And then some of the comments is like, it's like husband says to wife, oh, this dinner was good. The wife says, well, you wouldn't be saying that if the dinner wasn't good.
Yeah. It's so true though.
What? How does that even?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Anyways, yeah. So that happened.
So funny. Honestly, he does seem like such an idiot.
Oh my God, he's so stupid.
I don't know how he's become so famous. Like
people think he's smart, and that's the crazy thing.
Because he was like challenging college kids or something. Is that what he was doing?
But then
like,
he's not smart at
all. I know.
all.
Wasn't he the same guy that was like when Cardi B's song came out about like
the WAP,
and he was like talking about how like
he said. He's like, my wife's a doctor, and my wife told me that if your vagina is too wet, you might have BV and all these other conditions.
And someone's like, clearly his wife hasn't been satisfied for years. Oh God, it's just golden.
Seriously.
Like in some ways I kind of am glad that he's around because then he makes for these golden moments.
Yes, but then in some ways I'm like, he has like millions of followers on Twitter, and I'm like, I'm sure some of them are following him unironically, you know?
Yeah, it's like Candace Owens, she has so many followers
who so many.
Like blindly follow her. And the shit that honestly, I was just on her Instagram like a couple days ago, just like watching some of her videos, which I probably shouldn't be doing because that's giving her views as well.
Yes.
But I was like watching it and like her logic and the way that she like sets up her arguments, I was just like, oh my God.
I know, she's the worst.
This is so bad. Like,
the worst. But anyways, so that's one kind of good news.
Actually, I'm glad that he has been convicted because I think
most of the time they don't.
Yeah. And I think that this is like really, really important because obviously this was caught on video and like
if it hadn't been, he wouldn't be charged.
Exactly. If it hadn't been. This is the thing. And it was obviously like it was so blatantly obvious in the video.
Yeah, that's why I'm like how can anyone even if you were conservative,
exactly,
how can you deny this?
Well, and even if a crime had been committed and stuff, that was still and there wasn't really a crime that had been committed, right? There's still undue force. Do you know what I mean? And it's still murder. Like it is still murder. Like you literally, the person was detained. They were already handcuffed.
Yeah.
And you're putting so much pressure on them that they die. Like I was thinking about it, like just thinking about it for a second there. Yeah. Like imagine your hands are behind your back, clipped together, and someone's on your neck. Like you can't do anything.
Yeah. Oh God.
And literally, no matter what you're saying, like, they're just
it's bad.
Very, very bad.
So, anyways, we'll see what he's charged with. But that happened.
That's some good news, though. I'm glad that that's progressing, and that's going to be
in some ways.
But let's see what happens, guys.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
These things always have a way of somehow like.
There's been other instances of.
Oh God.
Like the taser that she thought it was a taser, but it was a gun.
Which I mean, come on.
Bitch, is she gonna get charged? She better.
Not. Probably not.
I think she was arrested.
Yeah. Oh God.
Anyways, so that's that. That was a little tangent.
On that.
We talked about Froyo. We talked about David Dobrik and his friend and his face getting smashed. I do want to watch that series though. He sounds like an interesting character. This Jeff guy.
You just think he's hot.
I do think he's hot. But also he was like a drug dealer or something.
What?
Yeah. So like, cause I was kind of like, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll put on like a YouTube video and I'll just like lay in bed. I'm half asleep.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's when I was watching it. I was like half asleep, not really fully paying attention. And and he was like, I was like doing drug dealing. He almost got he got arrested, but then somehow because of a technicality they let him go, and then he started doing these videos. I think he got famous for doing these barber shop videos because he used to be a barber or something.
Okay.
So he would make videos cutting people's hair and talking to them, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so he's
there's just videos for everything.
Hot.
Yeah, that's the real reason why Rose wants to watch, guys.
Well, people are because he smashed half his face, and people are like, well, he's still better looking than me after smashing your face.
God, that's goals. Hey, have my face smashed and still hopefully be attractive. It's like do you remember years ago there was that famous mugshot of this guy?
Oh my God, the famous mugshot, the hot model guy.
Yeah, that basically, and I think he got a modeling contract after or something.
Yeah,
because he literally went viral because they showed ridiculous. His mugshot and everyone was just like
pretty privilege. And he got love letters after love letters.
Oh yeah.
God.
Well, this is one thing. Okay, just on another tangent, which I really don't understand.
Oh God, are we gonna talk about murderers that get love letters?
Yes, these people that are convicted felons that get married to people that they barely know from the outside, and
well, I mean, I'm sure they exchange letters for years.
Yeah, they exchange letters and whatever, and they might go visit each other at the prison and everything else. But what I'm confused about is how that process starts. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
If I'm living in my regular kind of world, never at any chance am I let me go through the catalog of local criminals. Who am I going to send a love letter to today? Ooh. I like the look of him. He's only been convicted of one murder. That's good. Better than some other ones.
Yes.
I'm going to post him a letter. And then like, how do you even like find out how to get it to that person? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think you just like mail the jail they're in.
Yeah.
But it's like a whole, I would love to watch a documentary about this because it's like a whole thing where it's like, I think there's a certain type of woman and I don't know, like I could be wrong, but I've never really heard about the other way around where it's a woman getting, maybe there are instances like that.
I would bet.
But I think it's like the numbers are much more skewed toward women that obsess over these men in prison.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I very rarely I don't know if I've ever heard of an instance where a woman gets convicted and then all of a sudden she's flooded with love letters, which is so weird.
It's very strange.
Because like that's also very like opposite of like real life as well. Because like in real life, usually it's like the woman that gets like more courted.
That's true.
You know? But then so I feel like there's some kind of psychological like phenomenon here.
Yeah.
Which I'm curious, but also I'm like, do I want to know about this?
Like, because it's just
disturbing.
It's just a bit like strange. Like,
maybe it's like a savior complex.
Like, because even if let's just pretend right now we wanted to send a letter to somebody in prison. I mean,
I love how you're like worried about the logistics of this.
Well, I'm just like thinking like, how does it work?
No, you're like really worried about the practicality of this. I'm like, what's going on in your brain?
Yeah.
Because it's like, especially like really bad criminals, like serial killers.
Exactly.
And I'm like, you really want to go there?
Maybe it's like the idea of like a bad boy that they can change or something.
I think that's what it is partially.
Because, we all had our phase, at one point. Well, I don't know if you did. Did you have a bad boy phase?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
where you were like kind of like you'd like the guy in school or whatever. That's like a bit like a troublemaker. I don't know why that's a thing. Because I had that as well. I was like, oh,
are you sure you don't still have that?
Maybe to some degree. But like, yeah, it's so interesting. But I wouldn't. I don't think. I think that's. I think that's part of it as why, but it's like that person's like, especially if they're convicted for life or something, like they're never getting out.
That's the thing. Maybe that's another thing. Maybe it's like an avoidance thing where it's like, I know that they're going to be in prison forever, so I'll keep them,
at a distance. Maybe they have commitment issues.
Yeah, maybe we're designed to fall in love with someone in prison.
Maybe we're one step away from writing letters to inmates.
Oh my God, honestly though. But they get flooded.
Like so many. Like it's like they commit a crime and then they go to jail and then like literally
all
just
of a sudden everyone's in love with you. So if you can't get a woman, guys, okay, one solution is to go to prison.
Yeah, apparently.
And become a convicted felon, and then your chances of meeting a woman is going to be much higher.
Oh, skyrocket exponentially.
But like actually though, because like I can imagine that a lot of these men before going to prison did not get much attention from women.
Probably not.
I mean, other than the really good looking guy, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. And a lot of them get married in prison. They have children in prison. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm not against the idea of them, falling in love. I think it's good. It probably, is good for their mental health, you know. But it's just a very fascinating subject.
Interesting. You know what? Netflix, if you're watching, you should do they have a documentary
Maybe they do.
I don't know. I feel like they should.
I feel like they should. I'm going to Google this.
Well, we should pitch a few ideas to Netflix, guys. So we're going to do that one.
The Rose and Daniel travel show.
The Rose and Daniel vegan travel show.
Vegan travel show.
Where we going to travel this beautiful world. Go to all different countries.
We should like take a, what do you call it? A dart thing?
And just like throw it.
And then just go to middle of nowhere Russia and see what we can eat there.
Oh, God damn. Who knows? I don't know if I want to go to Russia at the moment though, because it's not the best place to go for homosexuals.
Oh yeah.
This is another thing that's crazy, guys. Like, not that we take it for granted because we all know this, but like it's crazy to think that there's like countries like that I could think of where I'd be like, maybe I would go there still just to see the country and stuff. But if I was there, I'd have to be very careful. Mm-hmm. Not that I would be going there to like sleep with a bunch of guys or anything, but like, like if I had a boyfriend, I wouldn't probably go with them to certain places.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like I wouldn't want to go to places where, but I guess there are places where women are also like second class citizens.
Yeah.
But not to the point where gay people would be treated, right? Yeah. So I don't know if I would want to go, like if I were in your position to a country where you know that you're not accepted like that.
Well, and then if it gets found out, it's just like,
it's bad.
Yeah. So it's
goddamn. We do take it for granted that we live in North America, you know?
Well, and like there's a lot of other countries that are too really liberal as well.
For sure.
But like, it's definitely like, oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
All right. So the next story here. Oh God, we're going to talk about India and the current terrible situation that's going on right now. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the numbers because it's pretty fucking bad. So India right now is going through a really bad situation with COVID. And I don't know what's happening and why it's becoming such a big issue right now, but apparently the country has reported more than 300. So this is on one day, guys. One day.
Yeah.
350,000 new infections.
So that was on Monday.
On Monday.
Yeah.
2,800 deaths in one day.
Yeah.
Breaking the world record of daily infection rates for the fifth day in a row.
So for 5. So I think it was the US for the longest time.
Right.
And now India's getting the most cases. It's just like exploding there.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why this story came up is lately, and it's funny, like, well, not funny that this came up, but I think that one of my friends actually sent me a video. I never ended up watching it, but it was like something that was going on in India as well. And it was like a really scary thing. And she was just like, this is just reminding us to like, you know, keep doing all the like following the restrictions and everything else. Like there's a reason why we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it was like people in India, what's happening is the hospitals are getting so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And they just don't have enough like oxygen masks and stuff and like oxygen tanks and
room in the hospitals,
exactly.
everything.
And so they're having a crisis, like huge crisis there. And I guess people are like obviously posting about this stuff on social media, right? Like people are like, oh, you know, like taking videos and posting things and like commenting and all this stuff. And I guess the government like got really pissed off because they're like thinking partially like it is true what's going on, but they tried to like get a bunch of posts taken down.
Right.
I think a few posts might have been some false information, so it wasn't quite fully accurate. Okay. So then those got legitimately taken down. Okay. But they were like really pressing for a bunch of other stuff to try to get it taken down from like Facebook and all these other platforms because they're like, well, this is making India look bad.
Right.
You know?
So they're trying to silence people.
Yeah, and censor, which would not be the first time.
I'm sure it's not.
Well, do you remember, like, just to digress for 2 seconds about this censorship issue, but there was this really graphic thing that happened to this girl on a bus.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Several years ago.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. Yeah. A woman in India, she was on a bus, and then I think like a group of 5 men or something or more
attacked her.
They attacked her, and then didn't she die?
Yeah, she died. Well,
they attacked her it was so gruesome. Yeah. It's horrible. It's horrible.
And then she ended up going to the hospital. She lived for a few more days and like said goodbye to her parents and stuff. Yeah. But there was actually a like documentary kind of like basically that had been filmed. I watched it. This was like years ago. And it interviewed a bunch of people that were like following this case, right?
Sure.
So they had like these guys, lawyers, because obviously they were getting lawyers and everything else. And they interviewed the girl's family, and it got like basically taken down, this like whole thing, because, and the main reason was because a lot of these people that were defending the men, for example, were like really senior like lawyers and everything else, and like, you know, very well educated people there.
How can anyone defend this?
I know, but they had, and the arguments that they were saying, and they had like really senior high up people saying, you know, like she shouldn't have been out at this time.
Oh my,
like very like conservative in their values, and people were like going crazy about this. And somehow I haven't been able to find it since, but I watched it like years ago, and I was just like shocked.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember just being like, yeah, it was crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I mean, it's crazy. So that's what's happening.
It's really sad. Like,
it's very sad. But why is it all of a sudden? Because like, I remember in the beginning, it wasn't that bad in India.
Let's look at it. Like, I want to see like a graph.
Like the graph. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like what I remember was that I was like shocked that India didn't, because India is like very overpopulated, right?
Hugely.
So for me, it didn't make any sense. See, look at these numbers. Like,
no, that's Canada.
That's Canada. Okay.
Just chill there, Roses. Give me a
Daniel,
second.
just Google coronavirus India.
I'm going to my favorite website.
Worldometer. Okay.
God damn.
Oh my God, these numbers are terrible.
Oh God damn. Well, at least there's like a little bit of a, you know.
No, it's going back up, Daniel.
Oh, God damn. Here we go. So we're going to go
to... so India is now number 2. Great.
With the number of cases. But it's, where is
that India?
This be? Oh,
see, look at the spike.
Oh,
it's
God
insane.
Damn. So, yes.
Yeah, so it was pretty low for a while.
Oh my God, it's really skyrocketed.
Yeah.
So guys, we're just looking at the numbers right now. So like, for example, this is just for an example. So April 2nd, which, what day is it today? The 26th?
Yeah.
So about 24 days ago.
Yeah.
Pardon me. It was 89,000 cases per day. And it's literally just gone through the roof.
345,000 cases a day.
Yeah.
And I do think maybe it's the variant in India that's become more and more contagious.
Well, they argued they said this as well. You know, that the vaccines are only as strong as, you know, as long as the virus isn't getting out of control, right? But if it's getting out of control in other areas, like India, like other countries,
then we're fucked.
there's going to be more variants because the virus is having more chances to like
live and thrive and
exactly
change.
Whereas here in Canada, like if we keep vaccinating and then we kill out these strains, but then you have all these new ones that are coming from other countries, like it's just gonna be like an ongoing.
Oh God, I'm so tired, Daniel. And then the fucking in the States, people are partying and shit.
I know, goddamn
fuck our lives.
That's because in the United States, I think the cases. What happened to the cases there? It'd be going down.
I don't know, Daniel. When are they going to make AstraZeneca available for us?
I don't know. Well, maybe they'll drop it soon. I mean, we're almost in the 40 category, so.
That'd be rude as hell, Daniel. I'm already having a bad day.
I know. I'm just kidding. Where's the graph for the U.S.? Is there no graph?
I don't know.
Oh God damn.
I don't know, Daniel.
Maybe that be what's it called? They're kind of censoring the information.
Oh, there it is. See, it's like going down in the U.S.
Yeah, because they've been vaccinating. But again, vaccinating for those strains. So what's going to happen if you know, this place over here, we got some strains. We got some strains over here.
This is going to increase more racism, Daniels.
Exactly. Then we're going to have the United States here. We got Canada. Now
people are going to start being racist toward Indian people.
Yeah. Oh, God. Guys, this is just...
It's crazy. Canada banned, I think, flights directly from India for a while.
Oh, God.
I mean, which kind of makes sense right now because it's kind of crazy.
Why? I feel like... Unfortunately, I'm not an advocate of this very often, but I think unfortunately when things get like this with like a pandemic, if every country would have just said, okay,
close the borders,
let's contain it internally.
Yeah.
And if every single country did that 100%, like
it would be so much better right now.
Exactly. But then like the argument is like they can't or whatever else. Like, and I don't believe that everyone that was traveling was doing it just for, you know,
for sure.
There was people, you know, traveling and doing things.
Have I lost my faith in humanity? Yes.
Well, you know, on a positive note, but not that positive. The last story that we're going to discuss,
a positive
Roses,
note that we're gonna
tear apart. Yeah, we gonna make it negative. Okay, so this happened recently. I guess Biden.
Yes. Biden.
You know Biden.
I know Biden.
Your good friend. So he has pledged to slash greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. in half by 2030. So, and he's also, you know, obviously he's getting a lot of praise globally because obviously with Trump was like very much like,
oh, seriously, just be the president after Trump and you will be praised. No problem.
So people are like praising him because they're like, it's great that he's getting back into, you know,
it's like literally the bar is so low.
I know.
They're like, oh my God, we're finally doing something that we should already be doing.
Exactly. This is so true. So he's basically like said that they're going to try to combat, you know, at least reduce greenhouse emissions by 50%. The interesting thing and like where there was like a little bit like, so he had like I guess there's going to be a plan.
Okay.
And everything else. One thing that he doesn't talk about, which I thought would be something that's kind of I don't understand why it's not part of it. Well, I do and I don't. But that one of the things that people are saying is like, this is going to be impossible. Like they were saying for the U.S. to do that in that short of a time by 50%, unless there's like a 80% or 90% reduction in the amount of meat that people are consuming.
Oh my God, that's like severe.
Yeah. I remember there was an article and someone was saying like, if we were to follow this and we've got to 2030 by cutting back our meat, it just would mean that each American would get to have the equivalent of like a burger a month or something. Which, you know,
we're fucked.
God forbid, because that's never going to happen.
Are you joking? We are fucked.
I know. That's why I'm just like, oh.
It's a serious, the thing is, and they didn't even mention it, did they?
No. And this is what's frustrating because, you know, if you're in government and you're making policies and, you know, and I think, I don't want to knock this too much because I think what Biden's doing is great. Like, at least he's acknowledging that, you know, climate change.
It is an issue.
Exactly. It's an issue. Like, we need to get countries.
Again, bar couldn't be lower.
Yeah, that's true. This is very true. Bar set low.
It's like, oh my God, he actually, you know, believes in science.
Yes. He actually believes that something weird is going on here. Oh my God,
let's praise him. He's the best president of our time.
And the president of the United States of America. But it does frustrate me and it irks me about like the fact that all the countries, like not all of them, but like a lot of them, even Canada, like, let's reduce greenhouse emissions. Let's do all of this. And nowhere in their plans are they like, okay, society, like, it's great that the government's doing this and like taking this on and being like whatever else, but the responsibilities, the onus is also on every individuals as well.
Yes.
And until they're like, let's all reduce meat consumption or maybe start like, God forbid, put restrictions on people.
Or God forbid, stop subsidizing these industries. That would be step one, but they know they can't do that because there's so much money in these industries.
Exactly.
So that's why they're not mentioning it.
The whole argument is like livelihood. I just saw a recent one about talking about subsidies. Apparently, I don't know the whole story here, guys, but it was like with Brexit, there's been a some shifting that's happened, and I guess the French fishing industry, because they're not able to like go into certain waters, and like there's like reduced quotas or something like this.
Sure.
They basically have been like really heavily impacted, and the government's stepping in and like putting in 120 million euros or something into that industry.
We're fucked.
I know, and I'm like, well, it sucks. No, it doesn't suck. I get that it is individuals' livelihood, but we need to like learn to adapt and grow.
Yes.
And like go into a different industry then.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and I guess it's easier for us to say because that's not our livelihood, but
people have lost jobs all the time. They get laid off. They lose their jobs. Industries die. Unfortunately, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. And then if we're like, it's not even just like, oh, people have lost jobs. Like, we're talking about like an actual serious problem.
Yeah.
So it's so frustrating.
Well, the whole system's fucked.
I know, we're fucked.
I watched this other, like, just to digress for a minute, another documentary that was quite good on Netflix, and it was about plastic.
Oh, The Rotten?
The Rotten, yeah. And it was about talking about plastic, and we already knew plastic's a problem, and, you know, there's a lot of different facets of plastic, but one thing that really resonated with me in this documentary is the fact that, and I think this is not just with that industry, it's with so many of these industries, it's like these companies come in and they're just allowed to, like, pillage and, like, do whatever to these lands and, like, fuck shit up. And then there's no like consequences.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They walk away with tons of profit, and the you know, the people that started the company become billionaires or whatever else. And yet the individuals that suffer, and I remember it was like in this plastic documentary, because China decided to stop taking a lot of the world's plastic for recycling, it was going to Malaysia. And this one community, all of these places were popping up that was doing like plastic recycling, but they were burning a lot of it and stuff. And the ladies, like the communities are like, why are we having to pay this cost? Like, because we're getting all these fumes, all this rubbish, all this garbage, while these companies are making tons of money, and we're the ones that are paying the burden.
Yeah.
Like, how is this fair?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the second, you know, on the flip side, the second that, you know, policy comes in place where, you know, companies are going to have to start looking after the things, like, you know, because a lot of the time they'll push the blame onto the consumer, and they're really like smart in the way they do it. Like that whole reduce, reuse, recycle campaign. Sure. It's like, it's your responsibility, not ours.
You need to recycle. Exactly. You need to do this.
We created the product for you to use. But if it shows up in dams and rivers and all kinds of stuff, like, that's not our problem.
That's your fault.
That's your fault. It's your responsibility. So it's just like...
And then it's always these like developing countries that have to suffer.
And then they're the ones that get it the worst because
there's like not much regulation there as well. And then if they're not going to do the business there, then they're going to take it to another developing country.
And that's exactly what happened with the plastic issue. Yeah. Right? Because like tons of our plastic that was getting recycled, and some of it was getting recycled in China. Like they'd split it up and whatever, and because they'll have cheap labor, so they can have people sorting through it and everything. And then China was just getting so much pollution and so much shit from this. So they were like, no, I think it was like 2018 or 2019, like quite recently. They're like, we're not taking this type of plastic anymore. Sure. We'll still take some other stuff, but like not this.
Okay.
And apparently like the instant they did that, like some industries were hit because that was their livelihood. But it was like a couple months later, it was like the air was like clearer. And it was like really substantial impact.
Right.
And then all of a sudden places like the US and other countries, they had these backlogs of all this like plastic that had to go places.
So then they sent it to Malaysia.
So then Malaysia was like the next place where they're like, okay, well, we're going to send it over there now.
Oh my God.
Like, it's kind of crazy because it's weird because like we're all on this one planet together. So no matter where we send it, it's still on Earth.
Yeah. It's still going to fuck us over.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yeah, it's still like,
but like it's further from us. So we don't see it.
Out of sight, out of mind. That's the whole thing. Like, it's like, again,
and we're not dealing with the like immediate consequences.
Exactly. Because I mean, for example, if they put something like right by our building here, my building, I mean, and like it was like a plastic recycling plant or something like crazy, and all these horrible fumes and everything were happening. Yeah. You can bet that people would be protesting, and there'd be people like, you know what I mean? Like this is, you know, so the further away they move it, then, you know what I mean? But it's going to be next to somebody. Yeah. And it's always next to, you know, powerless people. Yeah. Oh God. So fuck our lives. Fuck our lives. But, you know, the good news from this story about Joe Biden is that, you know, yes, the bar is set low, but it's good that, you know, the U.S. is starting to try to take actions to reduce carbon emissions and everything. But again, if you're not going to address some of the biggest contributors of carbon emission, what are you really doing? Like, is this all just a greenwashing campaign? Yeah. Like, are all countries that are like, we're going to reduce our carbon emissions, And it's like, okay, great. If you're going to do that, look at a pie chart. Where are your carbon emissions coming from? And we already know that like a huge, like probably like more than 50% of that will be from animal agriculture. And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
There's no other way around it. Like you just can't deny the numbers and the facts. So
what are we going to do, Daniel?
God damn.
What's the solution?
Let's go move to a little island, Rose.
That's worse. I know. We're gonna drown. There's gonna be a tsunami.
Oh god damn, I know. We'd be in a safe
we're in the safest place. Right in the middle of a giant piece of land is where you want to be.
That's very true. You know, don't want to be.
I mean, the safer place might be Saskatchewan.
Oh.
I'd rather die.
Shall we move to Regina?
Oh god. I mean, to be fair, I've never been.
I've been to Saskatoon.
Have you?
Yeah.
What did you do in Saskatoon, Daniel?
So I was at my school.
Context, guys. Saskatoon is, I guess, central Canada.
Yeah, it's in central Canada. Yeah,
it's in a province called Saskatchewan.
It's like right in the middle, guys, and it's like literally like the flattest province I think in all of them.
Is that safe though, or does it make it more? Is there any like natural disasters that occur there?
I think maybe they get tornadoes sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like it's just like very flat. Like you can see for miles. So you went to
Saskatoon.
Yeah. So when I was in university, I was part of a business case competition.
Oh, that was in Saskatoon.
Yeah. So it was like called, it's called JDC West. And it's like all the Western like universities compete. Uh-oh. Oh, bless you. Again?
One's coming. No, it's gone.
Okay. And as part of that, the year that I did it, the competition was in Saskatoon, and it was actually super fun because they like put us all up in like a hotel, and then we like went to the University of Saskatchewan, which I think is there. I think it's
University of Saskatoon, maybe.
I think it was Saskatchewan, but it could be Saskatoon. You might be right. But when we were there, because it was in the winter, it was like in January, it was like fucking minus 33 or something ridiculous.
Is it much colder than where we are?
Because we get Chinooks, right?
Right.
So like they don't get any break in the winter, and it was so cold.
Oh god.
And I remember it might be different now because of global warming and shit. But it was just so cold. And I remember like we had like events and we had like all these like different things that we were going to, and we'd like get outside and like run to the next like place that we were going and stuff. But it was like a cute. It's not like that. I didn't find it that big, but it's like very cutesy. You know what I mean? It's like a cute town almost, but it's like a city. It is a city, but you know.
Never been, guys. Anyone from Saskatoon?
Shall we go?
Saskatchewan?
Goddamn, a road trip.
No offense, but no thanks.
I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my time off.
This is the problem. Right here in Canada, I don't know if you guys can see. Saskatchewan and Manitoba. I don't want to go there.
Well, I think
and it's just in the way of like the funner provinces. Like, no offense. Again, I'm such a bitch.
You can't say that. What if we have people probably on the podcast listening from Manitoba?
Okay, but even there, okay, to be fair, like people say the same shit about Alberta too. Okay?
That's true, yeah.
So, and I'm not going to deny it. Okay, it's shit too.
It's not. We have the mountains. It's beautiful.
Okay, that's true. We do have the mountains. See, that's the only thing going for us. Okay, we got the mountains and we got Chinooks, which is basically like warm, like kind of winds. Yeah, coming.
we have got some warm wind here.
And yeah, so we have the mountains, okay? And then, but then it's Saskatchewan and Manitoba. What do they have? They have no mountains. It's just fucking prairies.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go at some point because
we'll have fun. I will not be going with you.
Manitoba is the only province that I haven't been to. Oh no, that's a lie. I also haven't been to.
You went to Manitoba? Oh no.
I have only had a layover there, so I feel
like you also have not been to Halifax?
No, I've been to Halifax.
You've been to Halifax?
I have been to Halifax.
When did you go to Halifax?
I went there like a couple of years ago.
What were you doing in Halifax?
I had like a day and a half layover.
Oh, really? So you like went to the what's the
well, it's actually Nova Scotia. The city is Halifax.
Oh shit.
So I stayed in Halifax.
See, clearly I forgot about
but I haven't done much of the East Coast. Like I haven't done like Prince Edward Island, PEI.
I want to go to Newfoundland.
I want to go to Newfoundland as well.
I want to meet the Newfies.
Oh god.
And then there's the PEI. Let's do a little Canada geography lesson, guys. We have 10 provinces, 3 territories. I don't know why they call some certain things provinces and certain things territories.
There's probably a reason for it, Rose.
Okay, well, it's stupid. So in the north of Canada that nobody goes to, but Daniel did.
I did.
There's the Yukon, and then there's the Northwest Territories and Nunavut. Yes. And then...
Has Rose been drinking? Am I unaware of
I am lacking sleep and I'm going a little psychotic.
Yeah.
And then you go down to the provinces. We have British Columbia on the very west.
Beautiful.
Then it's Alberta, which is where we are. And then it's Saskatchewan and Manitoba. You don't need to go there. Oh God, I'm such a bitch.
Yeah.
And then there's Ontario, and then there is Quebec, and then we have some little ones.
Yeah.
There's Newfoundland, which actually is not that little.
No, it's like this is all Newfoundland.
And then they've got cool. And then we've got New Brunswick, Princess Island,
Prince Edward Island,
Princess Island,
Prince Edward Island.
I'm so crazy. Prince Edward Island,
and
then Nova Scotia. Is that it? Is that 10?
That's all of them, Rose. You got all of them.
Yeah.
It helps that you have a map.
It does. If you made me do this with that one, I would have struggled a little bit more.
Yeah.
Although I do think I know the U.S. states better than Canada, which is kind of sad.
Oh, I'm hoping
But
so. Anyways, so guys, there was some positive
news. No offense,
news.
Guys, if you're from Saskatchewan and Manitoba, I still love you.
Yeah. Well, me and Rose are going to do a road trip out there.
You can make fun of Alberta all day long. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm going to drag Rose out of there, out of here into Saskatchewan.
Oh God, ew.
Just for, a trip.
Again, though, Alberta is also like kind of the worst because we're the most conservative province of Canada. So.
I was really hoping this summer, like I don't know what's gonna happen, guys, but I was like hoping because like obviously plans have all changed. I'm gonna do traveling like within Canada, so I have some time off in the summer, and I was really hoping to do like the Maritimes, like a little like road trip through like that part of Canada,
through Princess Island.
Yeah, through Princess Island.
Now I'm gonna call it Princess Island.
I know. Oh, Rose.
Oh God, seriously, like. Lack of sleep is a real thing, guys. Like my brain literally is not functioning today. But anyways,
but we'll see because right now, like apparently the Maritimes are in a bubble. I think.
Oh, they will not let us in, especially from Alberta. They don't like us over there. Okay.
They're gonna. Well, we have like the highest cases in Canada.
And we're a bunch of conservative. Fucking
rednecks.
Trump-loving rednecks. Okay, of course they don't want us there.
Oh goddamn.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, guys, check out our Patreon because we need to do a Patreon exclusive soon.
Very soon.
So we do an exclusive episode every single month, only for our patrons, and for as little as $3 a month.
$3.
Yes, only $3. It's cheaper than Starbucks.
Oh goddamn! It is cheaper than Starbucks.
Yeah.
And one of the benefits. Is you do get all the episodes ad free, and you
get it a week earlier than everybody else, so that it's a lot more timely. So please check us out on Patreon. Come join the Patreon family.
Exactly,
it is a fun time.
It is.
It's a
good time.
And follow us on Instagram at The SaVeg Podcast. Make sure you comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. Let us know what you think of all of my bitchiness. You can yell at me if you want. If you're from Saskatchewan, feel free to call me a bitch. I do apologize. I've never been there, so maybe I shouldn't be such a bitch.
Yeah, you should wait till you go there, and then we can comment fully.
You'll be waiting a long time.
Yeah.
Make sure you rate this podcast. I love you guys so much. Yeah. Anything else to add, Daniel?
That is it. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.